Hello fellow naughty steppers, another day, another review, and it's time to return once more to some EP analysis. In saying this, I am referencing my most recent video, which was the first in a new series called Rave Reviews, where I will be documenting the events that I go to, the artists that I see play live, and all revolving around the dark electronic music scene. That inaugural episode was on the latest event at Fire in Vauxhall, London, so be sure to check it out if you would like an insight into the kind of events that are happening around the English capital. And stay tuned for future episodes because there are a lot of big nights happening in London soon, and particularly in March. But yes, now on to today's review, and I'm going to be talking about the new EP from Answered, Mind Control. This is the latest EP released on the recently formed Disciple Records sub-label, Disciple Roundtable, which sparked a bit of controversy upon its inception with rival label Never Say Die Records, but which has put out some pretty solid releases to date. My favourites of which probably being the EPs from Murder and Infect. And it's pretty clear with these first few releases that they are going for quite an in-your-face electric style of production, incorporating that modern, vibrant sound that Disciple has become renowned for in the past few years, but mainly trying to integrate the rhythm influx into the label, making it a consistent input within the Disciple brand. And so I came into this new Answered EP with a completely open mind. Whilst I did have my favourites, as I said, there was certainly a wealth of other music that had been released on it so far that I definitely didn't warm to. The majority of which coming from the Knights of the Round Table compilation, which was released throughout September and October of last year, and which very much kicked off this sub-label. But it is evident from the opening title track here that Answered is staying true to Round Table's young roots and venturing beyond the standard rhythm formula, both in terms of sound design and structure. It is very much in keeping with the oozy, spacey, outer-worldly rhythm theme that has permeated the Round Table releases so far. Structure-wise, there isn't a bland element to the music that you tend to get with a lot of rhythm, the same 4 bars repeated over and over for 4 or 5 minutes. And you know me, I'm not one to slam a piece of music, but when rhythm is like that, it's genuinely very hard to listen to. Instead, there are a lot of breaks and experimentation with the regularity of the sound here, keeping the listener on their feet somewhat and wanting more. We get the first instance of this with the title track, where following an epic introductory sequence, there is a freeze frame moment at 1 minute 13 seconds, which sets us up really well for the incoming carnage. But it is most clear in the eye, which is quite stop-start from its conception, staggering towards its build-up and drop. Its breaks within those drops pave the way for faster sequences to eschew their way into the proceedings, creating a really nice mix between different flows, aided very much by the plodding nature of the underlying percussion. This is certainly evident in the following 2 tracks, but not quite to the same extent in terms of the wildness and reach of these sounds. Additionally, the playing around with different types of introduction is another way that Answered holds the attention of the audience very well throughout this EP. From that epic sequence starting off the EP with the title track, which creates an unbelievable tension through the rapid kicks and the enchanting lead hook, to the more to-the-point introductions of The Eye and Crusader, and then the beat and combination vocal with Rackham, which couples the simultaneously glaring and inviting bars from many faces with an intricate percussive bass. Gosh golly, my sincerest apologies if the filming seems a bit different from here on in than what it was previously, but my camera just ran out of battery on me without even a warning. Yes people, sometimes these things happen, but we just have to carry on, we just gotta soldier through! But yes, what I was saying with the track Rackham was that I don't feel the dubstep in this song quite compares with that of the other tracks on this EP, such as the sameness of it from start to finish. Although I do like the way that the wubs take centre stage as this song progresses onwards from its second drop. But this similarity between dubstep sounds from start to finish is also heard in the final track Crusader, which is probably the most recognisably rhythm track provided by Answered here on this EP. However, I feel such a drawback cannot be said for the first half of this EP, which melds incessancy and variation to create a very well-rounded and emphatic sound overall. The precedent is set in the title track, which has a great mixture of simple layouts, quick-fire stabbing notes, and a plethora of winding synths to give it a very full aesthetic. This was a truly great way to start the EP in dubstep terms alone. I love the way it retains its format into the second drop, just changing up the synths every now and then to give it that extra bit of appeal as it progresses. The Eye does well to continue this vibe, albeit in a more sinister tone by way of the dragging, moody synths used throughout. And in spite of the high-pitched robotic sounds that are dropped in as the track goes on, this one certainly hits hard, right in the gut. The darkness overwhelms the prettiness of it. And in closing, I feel like at the end of the day, if you like what Roundtable have put out so far, then you are going to find it very easy to get into this EP from Answered. However, if you are yet to take the rhythm genre to heart, even with the fresh takes on it adopted by this sub-label, then that is unlikely to change here. This is pure, unrelenting, visceral, acidic rhythm at its finest, rich in synth usage and colour while still pertaining to that underground dubstep structure. In saying this, it definitely transcends from its more flavoursome style in the first half to more common rhythm methods in the second. And in terms of a favourite track from Mind Control, I would have to go for The Eye. Though I find that the vocal sample doesn't really add any pizzazz to the track per se. I find it to be the most daunting and captivating song on this EP in terms of its amalgamation of different sound effects and tempos. It's the best representation of what this EP displays as a whole, in my opinion. And recommendation-wise, I would say that if you enjoyed this, as aforementioned, I would just go and check out everything else on Disciple Roundtable. And I'm not saying that this stuff all sounds the same by any means, but they've definitely established a theme that all of the releases so far have adhered to very well. And so that is that for another EP review. Thank you, as always, for watching. Honestly guys, it means so much to me that you are watching these videos. Just keep spreading the idea about where you can, and let's get growing this community even more than it has done in the last month or so. Like this video, share it about, subscribe to the channel, and comment with your thoughts on this new Answered EP. What did you guys make of it? And don't forget to like and follow Nawtystep across all social media. Everything linked, including the sole recommendation, in the description box down below. As ever, if it's naughty, then you know peeps, so keep it naughty and stay safe. See you in the next one, by which time it will probably be February, so see you next month. Peace!